sometimes you just wake up because of stress, because of hormones. I don't know, Satan. Of course, this is not sponsored, girl. It's me, you, and some other moms in Carline watching this video. Was this made at Hogwarts? Because I don't understand. Hey there, it's Simply Susan, and I'm here today to talk to you about something that is so important for every human being, and that is sleep quality. So if you're wondering, what are you wearing, Susan? Well, first of all, I'm about to go to bed, so I'm about to wash my face and go to sleep. But let me tell you, my sleep has been something that I have worked on for literally years now. I've had a terrible time sleeping, and I was like, what can I do to improve my sleep? So there are lots of things that are a little harder to do that are a work in progress, like not eating at least 3 hours before you go to bed. That is a great thing to do. Still a work in progress. And then it's also incredibly important to get off devices, get off screens, like not have your TV or your phone or a lot of light to just not be looking at all these things that can distract you, that can get your brain popping and going so you can't calm down. That's another thing that is also a work in progress. Also, paying attention to, how light or dark, circadian rhythm, all that stuff. But you know what? That stuff takes a hot minute. But you know what doesn't? A cooling blanket. So I decided to do 3 things that were relatively easier within my control, and it didn't require me having to unlearn too much. And so I got this rest cooling comforter. So this is a cooling blanket. Now let me tell you, this is something that I researched a lot. I was just like, what should a cooling blanket feel like? What should it do? And who is it for? So first of all, let me tell you who this is for. It's definitely for somebody like me who has a hard time sleeping, for sure. I've had a hard time sleeping for a couple of years, and that has to do with lots of things, but mostly because of health issues and medications that I had to take. So it kind of jacked me up, and that's part of it. And there's also age is part of it. There's lots of things, but I am not somebody who naturally sleeps warm or hot. I'm that person whose hands and feet are always cold, and I'm always wrapped up in multiple comforters. So I was just like, is this going to be for me? So I'll tell you about that in a moment, but it's for everybody, because I actually have been reading a lot of the data and research on what temperatures are best for optimal sleeping. Do you know what those temperatures are? 60 to 65 degrees. So I have my thermostat set on 64 degrees, and that took a hot minute to get used to, but I'm used to it now. And then I added this, and I added magnesium gummies at night. So those are the 3 things I'm doing: cooling blanket, putting my thermostat down to 64, and magnesium gummies that I take at night. And those 3 things have been a game changer, but this I think has been huge. So this is a cooling blanket. I got the one from the company Rest. And let me tell you, when I was looking at a whole bunch of them, there are lots of them on the market now. I mean, I knew about weighted blankets and I knew about heated blankets, but cooling blankets were a new thing to me. So I decided on this Rest one. And then when I went to go research it, who should pop onto my screen but the lovely and wonderful Drew Barrymore? I remember watching a little clip of her when she got her first hot flash. I think she was interviewing Jennifer Aniston, and Jennifer Aniston was like, girl, welcome to the club. So not only is it good for people who want great sleep, because without sleep, your body's not going to function, your brain's not going to function, your immune system is not going to function, and your mood's going to be all over the place. So everybody, but in addition to that, if you also are perimenopausal or menopausal, have hot flashes, hormones raging, girl, this is going to be for you. But it's also for people. I have found out that so many of my people, my family, they sleep with their family members, in my case, grumpy husbands, who actually hate it when it is cooler. Like if you sleep with somebody in your bed who is hot versus cold or cold versus hot, this is a very good solution for one of y'all, because one of y'all can put this around your body and be cool, and the other person can sleep in heat. So also for that, but definitely for people who sleep hot or sleep warm. Like I have a kid who kicks off his covers every single night. So, and sometimes wakes up kind of sweaty. So I'm like, this would be good for that person. But just in general, it's good for everyone. Also, I kind of like the thinness of it. If people who are minimalists and people who don't have the capacity to like wash and dry their comforters regularly or their duvets regularly, this, you just throw it in the washer. It's so thin. It doesn't take up the whole thing. So this can go into a regular washer, which I love. So it's super easy care. But let me tell you how this works and how it feels. So this cooling blanket, which I got in a size double/queen, it's fantastic. First of all, it feels better than, I have had silk and satin sheets. It feels better than that. It's not quite that slippery. I also kind of feel like I'm in a 1970s like bound chicka bound bound like video when I have satin and silk stuff. So I'm like, ooh, but what I do love about this is I definitely use satin or silk. Actually, I use a silk pillowcase at night because I'm just like, oh, the skin on my face and my hair, I want it to remain thick and lush and to maintain natural oils and not to have wrinkles and dents. Oh, for vanity reasons, this is fantastic because this also is slick and slippery, and so it's gentler on your skin. But the cooling technology and the moisture wicking technology, oh my stars, it is absolutely amazing. The first night, I'm not gonna lie to you though, the first night I was like, this is weird. So I started using this a couple weeks ago, literally the day that I got it, and it came in this really cool minimalist box, and I was like, okay, I like that. I like the sleek packaging. I like the minimalism. I like the responsible packaging. But I took it out and I touched it and it was cool. And I'm like, was this made at Hogwarts? Because I don't understand. Like, how is it cool to the touch? You don't plug it in anywhere like an electric blanket. So it was super cool to the touch. And so I actually, the first night, I put this on top of, no, I tried to sleep with it alone. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna sleep with this thing. And within 5 minutes, I was like, I feel weird because it was cooling my body, yet I wasn't cold. So I think it was a psychological thing. So the first night, I, for 5 minutes, had this and this alone. And then the second night, I actually, no, 5 minutes later on the first night, I actually took my giant heavyweight duvet cover and I put it over this. Now, I did not have a flat sheet or any kind of sheet in between my body and this. So it was this, but then a comforter over it. So did it cool me? It absolutely cooled me more. But then I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose. That kind of defeats the purpose. But because, I have it at 64 degrees in my bedroom. But the second night I got brave and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sleep just with this. It was totally fine. It just took me a hot minute to be like, what is this sensation? So I run cold. I don't even run warm. I run cold. This was phenomenal. It was comfortable. It was soft. And I felt like my body was definitely cooler. Yeah. Yet it was 64 degrees in the room and I wasn't cold. So it only took me 24 hours to get used to it. And now what I do is I just keep a blanket at the bottom, at the foot of my bed, just in case it's like a super cold night or maybe in the winters. And in case I want to put that over. But what I have learned is that if you have this next to your body, that is the way that you're going to get coolest. Like, I just feel like, why put, unless you have like cooling sheets, because there are cooling sheets, cooling pillows, cooling mattresses, there's cooling everything, but I don't have that. So I just put this directly on top of my body, which is another reason that I love that it's so easy to clean. But so I put this directly on my body. And by the way, it's best that you wear as little as possible, if you know what I mean. So don't be going in with this and having like full like flannel onesie or like fleece pajamas that look like sweatshirt and sweatpants. Like, that defeats the purpose. So wear super thin pajamas or your birthday suit and wear as whatever makes you comfortable, but wear as little as possible because I think it feels best when you have this directly touching your body. It cools the whole night long. Okay, so that is how you use it, but I will say this, the effects of it. I for sure felt the effects probably night 2. Night 1 was weird. I was like all in my head, but night 2 on, and I've been using this for weeks, I have felt like I have slept better. I have slept longer. I have slept in an uninterrupted state. Like, I haven't woken up and been like, super freezing or super cold. or just because sometimes you just wake up because of stress, because of hormones, I don't know, Satan. So lots of reasons for that to happen, but this cooling blanket is fantastic. So I highly recommend this. So I would say if you are struggling with sleep, definitely, do the whole light thing, do the whole no device thing, do the whole exercise more, and definitely make sure you're not looking at devices at night. But those are harder things to unlearn. What's easy? Taking some magnesium at night. And I know that there's that cherry juice tart cocktail with magnesium. That's too hard. Girl, get you some gummies. I'm about to do a video about all of my gummy supplements that are bioavailable and low sugar or no sugar. So stay tuned for that. But take magnesium, number one. Number two, put your thermostat in your bedroom at night. If you have a programmable thermostat, do that. And make sure it's between 60 and like 64 degrees. And then get you a cooling blanket. I like this Rest one. Of course, this is not sponsored, girl. It's me, you, and some other moms in Carline watching this video. But I will definitely put all the information. You can get it directly from Rest, or you can get it from Amazon. I got it from Amazon because that was easiest and I got it in 2 days. But this is fantastic. They have sales all the time and I caught it on a sale. I did. And I love this thing. So if you want better sleep and you want to be cooler and you want to be healthier and you want to look better and you want to be well rested so that your brain and your body and your immune system and your hormones just get all in check and you can live as long as you're supposed to live, then get this blanket. Yes, I am all for cooling blankets. And I was a skeptic. Like, I definitely have a heated blanket and a weighted blanket, but this is the third, but this is going to be my permanent blanket because this makes a difference with my sleep. End of story, period. So I am Simply Susan. I make videos every Sunday, and if you haven't already, totally subscribe. I would love to have you join the family. Leave me a comment below. Tell me if you have ever used a cooling blanket or what kind of sleeper you are, and if you have any other tips or tricks for sleeping, please do leave them in the comments. We could all use that resource. So I will see you in a couple of days. Until then, sleep well, sleep cool, and I'll see you soon. I love you. Have a fantastic week. I'm out.